As far as the Dandelicious gimmick, how long did it take you to get it down as far as the second you walked through the curtain in your first match, you had the strut and everything down?
Just because there was a bunch of friends I hung around with and we fuck with each other.
Okay.
And, you know, we're...
So you learned...
I hate to say this, but... I mean, we would, you know, go up to each other in a public place, like walking down the mall, grab each other's hand, act like we're fags, and trip each other out.
To get attention. And,
yeah, I mean, even was...
Just goofing around the boys.
Yeah, and I was used to it because it's what I did, you know, just to fuck with somebody. I'd go sit on their lap, give them a lap dance, and they'd oh, you mother, you know. So I was used to it.
What about compensation for your wrestling that night? Were you paid?
Paid?
Foreign work.
If you were the guy that was training him and he hadn't given you a dime, would you pay him?
I don't know. You just got away with
none of the guys. I've never heard of anybody being paid that wrestled at Kingstown.
Oh, really? I think I got paid for wrestling at Kingstown.
You wrestled at Kingstown?
Yeah, a few times. Me and the Highlander Dwayne McLeod.
That's a hairy
bitch. Yeah, it is.
Who were some of the guys that were on the roster at the time you were there?
Mercury, McLeod, Cyrus LeVay, and they use those names.
Yeah.
Ricky Idle, Wade Garrett. Ricky Idle was my first tag team partner.
Really?
The ugly fucker?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember him from AWF.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Clash. He turned out to be a porn star.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Does he have a good promo pic?
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
Of course, The Godfather.
Yeah. That's the trainer.
Ken Jeffcoat. Ace and Diamond. Couldn't tell you what the hell they're doing. Probably cracked out on meth or something.
Porn, maybe.
That's Clash.
More porn.
Some big son of a gun named Tiger or something. He wore a mask. He was a roofer, so only half his body was tan. He was white on the front and freaking dark as crap on the back. But he was freaking cut like a son of a gun. Wait, I did go to an indie promotion before. I just remembered. Me and a guy named, his name now is John Tower. Went to an indie promotion in Sandersville, Mississippi. I saw Tyrone Holly wrestle.
Awesome.
I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you look and go, I'm going to make magic with that guy someday?
Because you did.
He flicked his chest hair at me.
Okay.
And later, and like a few years later,
ended up, and I told him about that, and he's like, "No shit." I was like, "Yeah, no shit."
He was a smaller man back then, wasn't he?
No.
Really?
No, he was not.
Because I've seen footage of him when he was earlier in his career, and he was actually pretty svelte. I mean, as far as his build.
He might have been a little bit smaller than he is now, but to me, he was like, "Wow, this guy's big."
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go blah 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 to him, and he went. Just like that, and I was like, that crap's funny.
He showed me.
But we went and approached, at that show, we went and approached a guy named Hot Stuff, Eddie
I know who you're talking about.
Breland.
Breland, yeah.
And he's now the outlaw Eddie Breland or something. Anyway, and he's like, yeah, I'll take you to my backyard and I'll charge you $500 and we'll train you up. And we both like, I don't want to pay money for this. Because I was in high school, and we didn't exactly know the whole shtick to the whole deal. You actually have to pay money to learn how to wrestle.
Not in your case.
No, not in my case. It's greatest achievement so far. Anyway.
Did you get into any major feuds at Kingstown?
No, there was... The only angle they had was the Mississippi Mafia angle, I think. And there was the Booker's little clique that he had.
Mm-hmm.
I just went out and wrestled. Major Pain was in there too.
Any favorite matches? Did you work the guys that you were just talking about? Any matches that you had that really stuck out in your mind? Any gimmick matches that you had that...
No.
Pretty uneventful?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, just go out there and wrestle. I mean, I never kept up with it.
There must have been a pretty good turnover there, because all the guys you mentioned, I don't remember any of them being there when I worked there.
Yeah, there was. I mean, eventually you got tired of not getting paid.
Yeah.
I worked there for a year and maybe a year and a half. and it went downhill
Mm-hmm.
real bad. The last show I remember working, there was 5 people in the crowd, and it was all mamas and daddies.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, in fact, Wade Garrett left before I did and went to another promotion, and he, called me. He's like, "Hey, you ought to come over here. You're gonna get paid." I was like, "Oh, okay then."
Where was that?
United Wrestling Federation is what the guy called it, and the guy who ran it, his work name was Don Bass. If anybody remembers who Don Bass is, this is not the guy at all. I've actually met the real Don Bass, and he's 100 pounds lighter and quite a few years older, and didn't have a split nipple.
A split nipple?
Nice.
The guy had nipple over here, and it looked like somebody took a knife and just cut his nipple in half.
Maybe it was a chest hair throwing incident.
I guess. But it was horrible.
So you went and worked there?
Yeah, I went and worked there, and got paid like $20 here, $20 there.
How
Of course,
long-
I did not do. Well, the first 2 shows I did the Dan Delicious deal because he knew how over it was.
Of course. Oh, it's over.
Then Wade Garrett told me, "It's like, well, you're going to have to lose the Dan Delicious deal and come up with something else." I was like, "Well, okay," and that's when I went to my other gimmick,
Mike Thrash.
Mike Thrash.
Mike Thrash. Tell us a little bit about that gimmick.
At first, it was going to be a ripoff of Raven. I had the cut-off shorts, the combat boots, a black shirt, my hair all wet and hanging in my face. I was going to go in the corner and sulk down, like a big dumbass or whatever. And because that's pretty much all I had. I still had the Ken's gimmicks that I was using because I eventually stole them from him.
Didn't pay for training and got some free gear.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be pissed.
Well played, sir.
But I eventually got some semblance of tights because of the girl I was dating. Her mom made gimmicks for her and whoever else she was dating at the time. 'Cause
Whoever she was dating.
she only dated wrestlers, and he's
Plural.
usually yeah. I swear to God, she got passed from one wrestler to the next. No shit, because she was Wade's girlfriend. Wade stole her from Clash. Clash stole her from somebody else. I stole her from Wade. Somebody stole her from me. Another wrestler did.
Wow.
Coco is his real name. I can't remember. He lives in Louisiana. Indian.
They say that you've had sex with every person your partner's had sex with. That's really gross.
Wade's a good fuck.
Thank you for capping that. So you worked there. You said you started getting paid like $20 here. and there.
$20 and
How long have you been in at that point?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years, a little bit over 2 years.
And were you doing kind of the on-the-job training? Fantasy had talked about that, how you kind of learn as you go.
All right, you always learn.
Yeah, everybody does.
You felt pretty good after 2 years.
Oh, I was the big shit in the pond. Let me tell you, I was Mr. Top Dog because I could do all the Hudakanradas and the trippy leg twirls or whatever the fuck they're called. I mean, going off the fucking top rope, you name it, I did it.
Right.
Bailing out into a fucking cactus, whatever.